At the White House in the last few minutes, the president has been holding what he calls a listening session on guns. He is hinting of reforms, saying the time for posturing is over.
We're going to pick out the strongest ideas, the most important ideas, the ideas that are going to work, and we're going to get them done. It's not going to be talk like it has been in the past. It's been going on too long, too many instances, and we're going to get it done.
And then dramatically and directly to the president, school children and their parents pleaded for change, for an overhaul of gun laws.
And I'm a survivor. And I want you guys all to emphasize the point that I survived. I was lucky enough to come home from school, unlike some of my other classmates and teachers. And it's very scary, and knowing that a lot of people did not have this opportunity to be here still is mind-blowing.
I was shot at. In my mind, as a kid, nothing ever that horrible should ever have to happen to you, and you can't even think about it. Like, it doesn't even seem real still.
Should have been one school shooting, and we should have fixed it. Because my daughter, I'm not going to see again. She's not here. She's not here. She's in North Lauderdale at whatever it is, King David Cemetery. That's where I go to see my kid now.
A week ago, these teenagers were hiding under desks and running for their lives. Today, survivors of one of America's worst school massacres came to Florida's state capitol to demand the tightening of the country's gun laws.
We are MSC, we're here to make some history.
Traumatized, they are America's most powerful advocates for change.
Never again! Never again!
Among those lobbying here was Louis Misen, originally from Coventry, who escaped death by hiding in a cupboard.
Honestly, we just want to get the ball rolling. We want something here, because the second we get something here, we can carry that momentum into Washington, because this isn't something that should just be limited to Florida. It's something that should spread across the country. This happened in the suburb of a suburb, and we're going to take this to the national stage. We're not going to be ignored, so the president needs to be prepared for that.
These student survivors say their experience has changed them forever. I mean, those must have been terrifying, unforgettable minutes.
Yeah, it was absolutely terrifying. It was like I'll never unhear or unfeel or unsee any of it, and just like being there, I just know that no other person should ever have to feel like that, ever. It's insane how it feels, and it's just every single person at my school, all 3,000 kids feel like that right now, and no one else should.
In solidarity, children from schools across Florida have walked out of classes. Others are demanding limits on the sale of high-powered weapons.
We want change! We want change!
Observing that they have the right to go to school without fear.
We want change!
Seasoned lobbyists are passing on their best advice.
But be persistent. Do not back down.
Some seeing in this the start of a new national movement.
I do not know exactly what needs to be done. I just know what we're doing now is nowhere near enough. If I have to keep seeing neighbors die, if I have to keep seeing friends die, and I have to keep seeing other people on the news deal with this same tragedy, they do not deserve this. America does not deserve this. Humanity does not deserve this.
We won't wait. Disarm hate. We won't hate. Disarm hate.
While the protests here continue, the White House is certainly feeling the pressure. President Trump is hinting at banning some rapid-fire gun accessories and improving background checks. But in reality, those are small gestures that will not be enough to silence these voices.
And Robert joins us now from Tallahassee in Florida. Robert, what did you make of those scenes in the White House tonight?
No doubt at all, Julie. These were exceptionally emotional scenes before the president. These were mothers and fathers and students pleading directly to the President of the United States. Combine that with the emotional scenes we also saw here in Tallahassee, and you begin to realize this is the sort of combination of events that could change public opinion about guns, but we must never forget that the compromises on the table, the measures being discussed are really minor, potentially banning those so-called bump stocks that increase the rate of fire of semi-automatic weapons, or perhaps improving background checks. But essentially the bottom line is still 300 million weapons will be in private hands in America. There's no talk of confiscation, no talk of banning those notorious AR-15s. So in that context, the tragedies like we saw here last week are almost certain to continue.
Robert, thank you.